কি ব্যাপার, ওরা এখনো জয়েন করে নাই? তো হ্যালো, ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম। তোমাদের ক্লাস কি এখন শেষ হয়নি? আচ্ছা, আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে। আমার জাস্ট ইনফরমেশন দরকার ছিল। Okay, now is it?
Yes, miss.
Okay. So here, this is the course title, Complex Variable Laplace Transformation Statistics, and probably you have already completed 2 classes of this course, right? With Professor Mustafis sir. And in my course, in my section, I will continue with Laplace transformation. So this is your syllabus. At first, I will discuss regarding the syllabus of Laplace transformation. So this is our first class. I just discussed regarding the procedure of your question pattern, your syllabus, and what should you do to continue this course, the procedure of this class, and some extra fundamental things regarding Laplace transformation. We will not go for any deep topic of this course today. Okay, so how was your class regarding statistics? Statistics এর ক্লাস কেমন ছিল?
মোটামুটি ভালোই লাগছে। আর আগের টপিক ছিল তো সব, সেই কারণে খুব একটা আর কি কঠিন লাগে না। সামনে আসতেছে আমার কেরকম হবে সেটা তো বুঝতে পারি। 19 এ পড়ে আসছিলাম এসব।
Okay, so that is syllabus for Laplace transformation. At first, you should know what is Laplace transformation, the definition, the inventor, or the initial introduction of this course. So the first topic is the definition of Laplace transformation. Then Laplace transformation of some elementary functions. Your second topic is Laplace transformation. Here in the place of Laplace transformation, I just write down LT, but you are not allowed to write down LT in your exam. You have to write down the full form Laplace transformation. Okay, I just write down Laplace transformation as LT. So Laplace transformation of elementary function of some elementary function. So this is our second topic. Okay, after learning definition, we will go for. Excuse me, please. Mute your
ম্যাডাম
device.
ক্লাস শুরু করতে পারলো না।
Excuse me.
কে বলল?
Okay. So Laplace transformation of some elementary functions. That means after learning definition, we will go for finding the Laplace transformation of some basic mathematical functions, and these are known as elementary functions. Do you have the idea about elementary functions? What are the elementary functions actually? Anyone have any idea regarding elementary functions?
নো ইস কোনো আইডিয়া নাই মিস।
Polynomial function, rational function, trigonometric.
পলিনোমিয়াল না তো এগুলো এলিমেন্টাল।
Yes, these are known the elementary functions. What are things? Polynomial function, rational function, trigonometric function, exponential function, logarithmic function, and constant function. They are inverse. All these things which we can use in the application of different fields and in basic mathematics. All those functions are known as elementary functions. Okay, so the functions which are naturally used in mathematics, in different fields of science and engineering. These are known as elementary functions. For example, polynomial function, rational function, trigonometric function, inverse of them function, logarithmic, exponential, such like this. All those things are contained in elementary functions. Okay, so for the second part or second step, we will learn Laplace transformation of such type of functions, elementary functions. Now the next topic is Laplace transformation of derivatives. Okay, so the next one is Laplace transformation of derivatives. Here, Laplace transformation of derivatives means, suppose I have a first order derivative or second order derivative or third order derivative. So for solving first order differential equation, second order differential equation, or third order differential equation, we can use Laplace transformation, and there are some specific formula. Suppose for first order differentiation, for second order differentiation, for third order. So for some specific order, there is some specific formula of Laplace transformation, and these properties are included in this topic, Laplace transformation of derivatives. Okay. Now the next one is periodic function and unit step function. What is this? Periodic function.
periodic function
Yes. And
মানে
unit.
একটা টাইম পর পর মানে যেটা মানে সেম ভ্যালু
Yes. Here we can in the next step we will learn the Laplace transformation of periodic function and Laplace transformation of unit step function. So all of you probably are familiar with periodic functions. If a functional value is repeated under a fixed period, then that is known as periodic function. Otherwise, if your function satisfied this condition, f of x plus t is equals to f of x. So such type of functions are known as periodic functions. And your next one is unit step function. Suppose I have a function u of t, and if your function is defined in this way, that for t less than 0 it is 0, and for t greater than 0 it is 1. This function is known as unit step function, and this function is known as periodic function. So in this topic, periodic function and unit step function, we will learn what will be the Laplace transformation of periodic function and unit step function. Okay. So now for the next topic or next part. In the next part, it contains some special theorem on Laplace transformation. Basically, there are some properties, there are some theorems of Laplace transformation. We have to learn the statement, and you have to learn how can we apply those theorem for finding Laplace transformations. Okay, so there are some theorems related to Laplace transformation. Some theorems and or some properties. Okay, and our next part is inverse Laplace transformation. Okay, inverse Laplace transformation. Inverse Laplace transformation. Here for this topic, we have learned how can we find the Laplace transformation, but in the next topic, we will find inverse Laplace transformation. So at first, you should know what is Laplace transformation. I will explain it. Laplace transformation convert a function from a variable or from time domain to frequency domain. Okay, it just changes the domain of your function. So using Laplace transformation, at first I can convert a function which is a function of t into a function which is a function of s. Using Laplace transformation, I will convert a function from t to s. But when you will use inverse Laplace transformation, you will convert the function of s again to a function of t. Okay, that means Laplace transformation and inverse Laplace transformation are the alternate or reverse. So for the above topic, we have learned or we have find out the Laplace transformation of different types of functions, different types of theorem for finding Laplace transformation. And from this topic, we will find out the inverse Laplace transformation. And what is inverse Laplace transformation? By which we can convert a function of s into a function of t. So what's the relation between Laplace and inverse Laplace transformation actually? here we have seen that for Laplace transformation, it is converted from T to S, and for inverse Laplace transformation, it is converted from S to T. So can anyone find any link between Laplace transformation and inverse Laplace transformation?
একটা প্রসেস আর একটা প্রসেসে একদম অপোজিট, তাই তো?
They are alternate of each other. Okay. Now the next one for inverse Laplace transformations, partial fractions. It doesn't mean that we will learn how to find out partial fractions. It doesn't mean here partial fractions means using partial fraction we will complete Laplace transformation and inverse Laplace transformation. Suppose you have a rational fraction. Okay, suppose you have a rational fraction, and at first we will convert our rational fraction into partial fraction, and after that we will find out the Laplace transformation or inverse Laplace transformation. Suppose there is a term 1 by s minus 1 s square plus 1 or something like this here. At first we will convert this into partial fraction, and after that we will use inverse Laplace transformation. Okay, so this partial fraction topics indicates that we will complete our calculation of Laplace transformation or inverse Laplace transformation by using partial fractions. It doesn't mean that we will learn how can complete the partial fractions of rational fraction. Okay. Now the next one is convolution theorem and Heaviside expansion formula. These two things are the most important theorem of this course. What is this convolution? Basically, using these two theorems, these two one are also used for finding Laplace transformation and for finding inverse Laplace transformation. And these two theorems are quite important. Suppose you have a factor which are in form of multiplication. In that case, we can use this theorem for completing our Laplace transformation and inverse Laplace transformation. So these topics are included in this course, Laplace transformation. Initially, we have learned the definition, some elementary. We will learn how to find Laplace transformation of some elementary functions, some theorem, some properties for conducting of Laplace transformation. We'll learn some specific or special functions, Laplace transformations. And we will also learn the Laplace transformation of derivatives. And using this, you will be able to solve ordinary differential equations. It can be first order, it can be second order, it can be third order. And finally, the next topic is inverse Laplace transformation. So here using Laplace transformation, we get T to S, and for inverse, it will transfer from S to T. And in our next topic, these are partial fraction, convolution theorem, and Heaviside expansion formula. Basically, these three things are used for completing inverse Laplace transformation. Okay. So these are the syllabus for your Laplace transformations. Now we can go for the discussion regarding this topic, the definition, the inventor of Laplace transformation. Okay, is this syllabus complete? Do you understand regarding the syllabus?
Yes, miss.
Okay, this is the syllabus for this topic, Laplace transformation. Now, okay, can you see the screen?
Yes, miss.
Okay. So here, the inventor of Laplace transformation, at first you should know, since we are considering a new topic of this course, Laplace transformation. Here, basically, the first one, he's a French mathematician and Pierre-Simon de Laplace, and he is known as the inventor of Laplace transformation. Okay, Pierre-Simon de Laplace is known as the inventor of Laplace transformation, and the Oliver Heaviside was the developer of this topic. He developed this topic, but the inventor is Pierre-Simon de Laplace. Okay, and the definition of Laplace transformation is quite connected with integral transform. What is this? Definition of Laplace transformation is quite connected with integral transform. That's why at first we learn about the definition of integral transform, and after that we will go for the definition of Laplace transform. Okay.
ম্যাডাম আসসালামু আলাইকুম ম্যাডাম
Alaikum assalam.
ম্যাডাম মেজর তাহসিন বলছি ম্যাডাম ম্যাডাম আমার এবং রোল 27 ম্যাডাম আমাদের দুইজনের হচ্ছে ডিপার্টমেন্টে একটু ফলেন আছে ম্যাডাম একটু কাইন্ডলি অ্যালাউ করলে একটু ব্রেক করবো
Okay. When I then inform your friends or your classmate when I take the attendance, then please inform me, then I will give the attendance. No problem.
থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ ম্যাডাম আসসালামু আলাইকুম
So here we will consider the integral transform at first. After that, we will find out the definition of Laplace transformation. At first, we will consider a function k. And here k is a function of two variables t and s. What is this? We are considering a function of two variables s and t, and here obviously s and t are not the same thing. Okay, we will consider s as a parameter which is independent of t, and s indicates the frequency and t indicates time period. So these two things are different. I'm repeating again. At first, we will consider a function k of two variables s and t, and here s is a parameter which depends on the independent variable of t. Sorry, which is independent of t. That means s is a parameter which does not depend on t. Okay, and here since t indicates the time period and s indicates the frequency, so is it possible that t will be less than 0?
মিস কোশ্চেনটা বুঝলাম
We are considering the function k s comma t. Now, if I consider that t is the time period and s is frequency, so is it possible for us to take t is less than 0 when t is time period?
মিস কোনটাই জিরো নিচে হওয়া পসিবল
Okay, so in that sense, we can say that for Laplace transformation, our values for t will be greater than 0. Okay, remember it. For all of the time, our variable t indicates the time period in Laplace transformation, and this is always greater than t. So we can say that Laplace transformation is a mathematical operator which transforms function from t to s. That means time period to frequency. Laplace transformation transform a function of t into a function of frequency. Okay, we will learn it later. The function f of s defined by the integral. Suppose we are considering a function k, and the integral of this from the limit minus infinity to plus infinity is defined by f of s. Is called integral transform of the function f of t. What is this? If I take infinite or improper integral from minus infinity to plus infinity of the function f of s comma t as a product of f of t dt, then this is known as what? This is known as integral transform of the function f of t. This integration is known as integral transform of the function f of t, and you may denote this by this t of f of t. This indicates the integral transform of the function f of t. The function, this is sometimes called the kernel of the transformation. Here the function k, which is a function of two variables s and t, and sometimes this function is known as kernel of the transformation. So at first, you should know what is the integral transform of a function f of t. I am considering a function f of t, and its integral transform is represented by this improper integral. And sometimes the function k s comma t, this is known as kernel of the transformation. Now, we will go for the definition of Laplace transformation. Initially, we have mentioned that k s comma t is a function of two variables s and t, and s is independent of t. That means s does not depend on t, and this is known as kernel of transformation. If this kernel of transformation is defined in this way that for t less than 0, when the values of t is less than 0, then the result for this is 0. And when t is greater than or equals 0, then it is e to the power minus st. And I have mentioned that for Laplace transformation, t is time period which is always greater than or equals 0. So for Laplace transformation, what will be the value of this kernel transformation? Try to understand. I have seen that for Laplace transformation, time period t will be always greater than 0. And here for t greater than 0, the value for k s comma t is e to the power minus st. So Laplace transformation, what will be the value of kernel transformation?
e to the power minus st.
E to the power minus st, yes. So if in the formula of integral transformation, if you put that k s comma t is equals to e to the power minus st, then you will get the definition of Laplace transformation. What is this? If in the formula of integral transform, in the place of k s comma t, if you put the values of kernel is equals to e to the power minus st, you will get the definition of Laplace transformation. So here in the place of k s comma t, you will write down e to the power minus st into f of t into dt. So this is the definition of Laplace transformation. Now the question is, what will be the limit here? Minus infinity to plus infinity or anything else?
Is 0 to infinity?
Yes, you are absolutely right. Here the limit will be 0 to plus infinity. Why? Because for Laplace transformation, the value of kernel transformation is this, but here the condition is t is greater than or equals 0. That's why the limit for Laplace transformation will be 0 to infinity e to the power minus st f of t dt. Do you get this point?
Yes, miss.
Okay, so in this way, from integral transformation, we may get Laplace transformation's definition. Okay, so if you want to get a bookish definition, which you can write down in your exam, here is it. Alternatively, we may and one thing is this. Now, notation. Okay, for indicating Laplace transformation, which notation can be used? Suppose f of t is a function, and for representing Laplace transformation, the notation will be like this. It's like this. Have you seen this? What about the notation of Laplace transformation? So Laplace transformation of f of t can be written as this. This is the notation of Laplace transformation of any function. Otherwise, you can also write down f of s. This one or this one is considered as the notation of Laplace transformation. Is it clear regarding the notation?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Now you will go for the mathematical or alternative definition of Laplace transformation. Let f of t be a function of t. We are considering there is a function of t that is denoted by f of t. And here obviously t is greater than 0 since here t is time period. Then the Laplace transformation of f of t is denoted by this or this, and it can be represented by this improper integral 0 to infinity e to the power minus st f of t dt. This improper integral indicates the Laplace transformation of the function f of t. It is denoted by this one or this one. And in my course, I will use this notation, okay? And if you want, then you can use this one, but I will use this notation. And here one thing is that the value of this improper integral will have to be defined. And for this reason, here it has been mentioned, provided that the limit exists. What is this? What is the meaning of this line? Provided that the limit exists, that means the value of this improper integral will have to be finite or less than infinity. Do you understand this definition?
Yes, miss.
If you understand this definition, then let me know what is the meaning of Laplace transformation. What is the activities of this? Why we can use this? Here, using Laplace transformation, we can transform a function of t or time period into a function of sequence. Here, S indicates the variable or parameter which is independent of t, and thus indicates frequency. Okay. sorry, here S indicates frequency and T is time period. So if you want to convert one function from time domain to frequency domain, in that case, you can use Laplace transformation. And this is the formula, but one thing, the value of this improper integral will have to be defined. That means the limit will have to be exist. Is it clear?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. Class নিচ্ছি কাহিয়া দাও তো okay. Now we will go for the Laplace transformation of the very simple function, constant function. Okay. So what is the constant function? At first, I will consider there is a function f of t is equals to 1. What is this? Is it elementary function or not? F of t is equals to 1. Is it possible? May I say that f of t is equals to 1 is a function of t? Is it possible?
Yes, Miss, possible.
How can we say that?
কারণ যদি এখানে টি যদি 1 ধরি তাহলে তো 1 হয় না এরকম।
T is the 1, na? It indicates that the power of t will be 0. T to the power 0 means 1.
টি টু দি পাওয়ার 0 মিস 1, yes miss।
T to the power 0 means 1.
টিটা ইনভিজিবল হয়ে আছে।
Okay. So now we will find out the Laplace transformation of this one, and this is the first function which we need to find out the Laplace transformation, the initial one. Okay. So at first we'll write down the definition of Laplace transformation. By definition, we may write down that Laplace transformation of f of t is equals to f of s is equals to what? 0 to infinity e to the power minus st f of t dt. And one thing is that probably I have conducted 2 courses with you, and here for those courses the question pattern was as similar as with your previous questions pattern, but from this semester in our mathematics division you may face some different patterns portions, so you have to prepare yourself for some different patterns portion, and obviously your instructor will discuss about the pattern of portion in your class. So if you want to do good in your exam, you have to be attentive and you have to keep your attention during your class. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you to do good in your exam, because if you understand these things, only after that you will be able to answer all those questions. Otherwise, it's not possible for you to understand this. Okay. So I hope all of you will cooperate in this class. For each topic, I will discuss about the question pattern, but we will not give all of the questions directly from our lecture. Okay. So by definition, we have seen that 0 to infinity to the power minus st f of t dt. So what is f of t? Here we are considering that our f of t is equals to 1. So it will be 0 to infinity e to the power minus st f of t is equals to what?
1.
Okay. And now can anyone explain what is the right procedure for finding improper integral by using limit? Here at first we will consider that p tends to infinity, and I will take the limit from 0 to p. Okay. For improper integral, we will consider that limit p tends to infinity and 0 to p. This indicates the same thing. When you take that p tends to infinity, then this limit 0 to p indicates 0 to infinity. These two things are the same. e to the power minus st into dt. So at first I will complete this integration, and after that I will use this limit. So what will be the integration e to the power minus st with respect to t? So what will be the result here?
It's divided by
S.
s minus s.
Yes,
Minus
it
s.
will be minus s. So I'm write down here, it is minus s, use the limit from 0 to p. And it will be minus 1 by s, limit p tends to infinity, and now use the upper and lower limit. So e to the power minus sp minus e to the power 0 minus 1 by s. Now is the limit p tends to infinity. So if I use here for e to the power minus sp, if I use that p tends to infinity, then what will be the result for this? If the values of p tends to infinity goes towards infinity, then what will be the result for e to the power minus sp?
Infinity minus 1.
Minus 1.
e to the power 0 মান 1 হবে না?
E to the power 0 is equals to 1. Okay, so I
Subject
just
হবে
want
e
to
to the power
know,
minus infinity.
and
E to
what
the
is
power
the
minus infinity minus 1.
what is the value for e to the power minus infinity?
This tends to 0 হবে
0 হওয়ার কথা মিস।
When you take the limit for p tends to infinity, then the result for e to the power minus infinity will tends to 0. So here for this term, your answer will be 0, and for e to the power minus 1, the answer is minus 1. Okay, and this negative sign and this negative sign, this one and this one will produce what? 1 by s. And here there is a condition that is known as